What's going on, everyone? So today is the 15th, and today is the day that the Lakers officially can trade Austin Reaves and Rui Hachimura, freeing up basically everyone on the roster. Only people are Anthony Davis and Jared Vanderbilt. Those are two guys that cannot be traded this year. Outside of that, everyone else is fair game at this point. Personally, I think everyone should be fair game. Now, there's a lot of talk centered around Austin Reaves and the Atlanta Hawks, right? Atlanta really wants Austin Reaves. The Lakers are very interested in upgrading into an athletic guard. Dejounte Murray is one of their targets. Now, personally, I'm sure many of you are aware, I am more of the camp of Zach LaVine over Dejounte Murray. I just think Zach LaVine would be the better natural fit. I think he gives you that scoring. He's also really adapted into being this like secondary playmaker, focusing on rebounding. He's been better defensively this year. I just like the fit. But here's the thing, regardless, whether you get Zach LaVine or you get Dejounte Murray, you need more. Lakers just getting Zach LaVine, I do think would be better than just Dejounte Murray. Just my thoughts. I just think the fit, again, is better. But if that's all you get, I don't think the Lakers are a true contender. I think they'd be much better. I would still take my chances with them in the playoffs, but I don't think that they are one of the top 4-5 teams in the league. Same thing if they just get Dejounte Murray. I have a little more concerns about the fit. One of his big issues is playing off ball. You're playing alongside LeBron James. I have my concerns. But if you can get other things, right, which would be easier with Dejounte Murray, now I kind of lean towards, okay, let's go get Dejounte Murray, right? If you could get a Dejounte Murray, Clint Capela, and a Bogdan Bogdanovic, now I think that is better than going and getting a Zach LaVine and an Andre Drummond. Even personally, a Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, and Zach LaVine. Because I just think, yes, Zach LaVine is the better natural fit. I think his impact would be heavily felt on that Lakers team. But the other two, right? Clint Capela, I think, is a far upgrade over Andre Drummond. And then if you get a Bogdan Bogdanovic, that gives you the sharpshooter we need, right? That can play off ball and also a guy that can give you, 20 a game plus Dejounte Murray. I'd be more willing to lean into that fit, right? But cost is everything. And would Atlanta be willing to do that? Well, we got a report that says that they will, or that they would be willing. So, and I had an NBA exec from another team spitball with me yesterday, January 11th. Could the Lakers, if Reaves is involved, construct a bigger deal where they get Dejounte Murray, Bogdan Bogdanovic, the sharpshooter they so badly need? Now that got to include Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, more draft compensation, and Jalen Hood-Schifino. So, again, there have been several reports the last week or so that lean towards, hey, if Atlanta could get Austin Reaves, they would be more open to dealing a Bogdan Bogdanovic, a Clint Capela, or several other pieces, right? A Hunter. Basically, everyone on Atlanta, except for Young and Johnson, are fair game, right? Atlanta's willing to give up everybody. So, to me, can you work out a deal where you could get Clint Capela, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Dejounte Murray? If you could get those three guys, I would be willing to trade basically whatever you want. Right? Whatever you have to give up. Because I just think at that point, you basically filled all of your holes. Or most of them. You still have some flaws, but I think you'd be much better. Right? So if you have to trade D'Lo, Reaves, Rui, Gabe Vincent, your first round pick, I do like that idea. Right? I'd be more inclined to, okay, let's go take the chance on a Dejounte Murray. But also, I like the idea for now and post LeBron James. Whenever LeBron leaves. Now, it could be 5 years from now and it doesn't matter. But, next probably 2 years, LeBron very likely could be gone. And I just think you'd still have a core of Dejounte Murray, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Anthony Davis, Clint Capela, plus whatever else, through drafts and, free agency and however, right? I really like that idea, especially if you can keep like a Taurean Prince, which I don't see why you'd have to give him up. If you can keep a Taurean Prince, that'd be nice because now you got Bogdanovic, you'd have Prince. Hopefully, Dejounte Murray can continue to shoot close to 40% from three because that would be massive. But overall, I think he'd be better. And getting a guy like Clint Capela solves a big need that the Lakers have, which is another big man. Now, the thing is if you got Clint Capela, you'd have to start him. You're not paying a guy $20 million a year to not start him. And he's good enough where you have to start him, right? He's got a 7'5" wingspan. He's like 6'11". This guy's one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. He averages about 4.5 offensive rebounds, almost 5 offensive rebounds a game. He's averaging 10.5 rebounds per game, 11.3 points, right? 1.1 assists, 1 steal, and almost 2 blocks. That would be heavily welcome to the Lakers. Imagine Clint Capela and Anthony Davis down low. Good luck. And he would fix the rebounding, all of that. My big concern, however, is LeBron James playing the 3, right? Because there's a reason he's playing the 4. There's a reason Anthony Davis is playing the 5. It's because LeBron James, he's not a spring chicken anymore. And him having to chase around twitchier athletic wings for all game is not the best thing for him. But at this point, you got to do what you got to do. You just got to do what you got to do. And to me, if you can get Clint Capela, he is good enough to argue putting LeBron James at the 3. That, or you kind of go like a bit positionless, right? Like, so you could technically, right, like go Clint Capela, Anthony Davis, LeBron, Murray, and like Jared Vanderbilt. Problem I'd have concerns with is just your offensive scoring and your shooting, right? But then you could put like you could basically mask LeBron on the worst defender. But to me, I think you just kind of live with it. You start Capela, you start AD, you go with LeBron, you go with Dejounte Murray, and then if you can get a Bogdan Bogdanovic, then you go Bogdan Bogdanovic, right? Like your starting 5 could literally be the 3 guys you get from Atlanta. You could go Dejounte Murray, Bogdan Bogdanovic, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Clint Capela. Now you're very comparable to basically every team in the league. You got shooting, you got versatility, you got secondary playmaking, you got defense, you got rebounding. You basically solve all of your needs. Something like that, I heavily lean towards that. I really like that idea. Now, again, I still really like the idea of Zach LaVine on the Lakers, but I have maintained if you can get Bogdan Bogdanovic and Clint Capela, I wouldn't even mind Hunter, but I kind of lean towards Bogdanovic just because his shooting and his ability off ball. I heavily lean towards getting that. Again, I really like the idea of Zach LaVine, but it would be so hard to pass on Bogdanovic, Clint Capela, and Dejounte Murray. I just think that that's something like if that's really on the table, you have to get that done. You do. You have to make that happen. And looking at Bogdan Bogdanovic, again, he's a guy shooting 37% on 8.7 attempts per game. So high usage, high volume. This is a guy that's a career almost 39% 3-point shooter. So he's having actually a bit of a down shooting season, and he's still shooting 37%. However, you put him alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, he's going to get looks like he has never gotten in his career. So, and if you have Murray, like I think his shooting goes back up to 40%. I mean, look at what Taurean Prince is doing. Taurean Prince is having a career year in shooting, and it's because he's playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's the guy that's 90% from the foul line, so he can knock down the foul shots. 2-point range, shooting 51.5%. He's a guy that can pull up. He's also averaging 3 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.4 steals, and 17.3 points. Now, I don't expect him to average 17.3 points playing alongside Dejounte Murray, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, but even if he's consistently giving you like 12 points, right, that would be great. And then there's always the occasional night where he just has the hot hand and is shooting the lights out. To me, I think that is something you have to do. If that is really on the table and that is something that is really available, I don't know how you pass that up. Now, there is concerns about Bogdanovic defensively, right? He's not a good defensive guy. And you do have the concerns of him just kind of being a liability on that end. But I just think with Clint Capela and then LeBron and Dejounte Murray, now you have that point of attack defender. I think you'd be okay. I think you'd be able to survive. And then if you need to, you can just make the adjustment, right? Like, let's say Bogdanovic really is becoming a liability on the defensive side and they're targeting him like they were targeting Austin Reaves. Then you just, whatever, you move him to the bench and have him come off the bench as a sharpshooter. And then you go with, like I mentioned, like a Jared Vanderbilt or whatever, right? I just think you'd have enough to get away with playing Bogdanovic and you kind of live with it at that point just because of how good of a shooter he could be and how many points he's able to score. And you got to understand, he's averaging 17.3 points a game playing alongside Trae, Dejounte Murray, and, like Hunter and guys like that, right? So, and him just being so off ball, I think would be huge for the Lakers. Last little note, can the Lakers get Saddiq Bey also? Because they could, right? And I really like the idea of Saddiq Bey. Because then you could start him at the 2 if you want. Like, he's not as good of a 3-point shooter. He can be kind of inconsistent. He's one of those guys, he's hot and cold, right, when it comes to shooting the 3 ball. But he's got good size, good versatility, right? He's 24 years old, so he's young, fits the timeline, 6'7", 6'8" size. This is a guy that isn't making a ton of money, right? He could easily just kind of be included. And they want to get rid of him because they're not going to keep him. And not only are they not going to keep him, they're probably going to let him go in free agency. And he's only making $4.5 million. So you could include him in the deal and then just trade whatever you have to. And I would be totally okay with that. Right? Like, add him to the mix. And I think you're money at that point. Again, he can be a little streaky. You look at him. Right, he's averaging 32.4 minutes per game. He's shooting 43.3% from the field. He's shooting 34% from 3-point range on 5.6 attempts, which isn't great. But he's shooting 54% on 2, 81.6% from the foul line. He's also grabbing 6.6 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.1 steals, half a block, and then he's averaging 13 points. Right. To me, he's just a guy that I think would be kind of like an upgrade over Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt. Kind of my thing. He might not be as good defensively as, like, say, a Jared Vanderbilt, but offensively, I just think he'd be better. And he could just kind of be an add-on, a tack-on, right? And you trade whatever you have to go make it happen. Kind of like that idea. Kind of lean towards that. And I really do. I really hope that this is something that is really on the table. Again, it's kind of just speculation. But there have been a lot of heavy reports that, like, Atlanta is willing to include more than just Dejounte Murray if they could get Austin Reaves. And so usually where there's smoke, there's fire. Usually when there's 5, 6, 7, 8 reports, that means something is a mist, right? Something is a brew. But I don't know. I do lean towards this. If you can make this happen, if you can get Bogdanovic, you could get Clint Capela, and you could get Dejounte Murray. Because the thing is that Dejounte Murray is only making about like 17.5, 18 million. Because his new contract doesn't kick in till next year. Right? So you can trade for all 3 of those guys. I mean, Clint Capela the Lakers could trade for Dejounte Murray and Zach LaVine. And Clint Capela as well as Bogdan Bogdanovic, those two guys are basically making the same amount as Zach LaVine, right? So you can make it happen. So we'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think that, get this deal done? If it's on the table, make it happen. Do you think, no, go with the Zach LaVine deal, or, just get Dejounte Murray and go look elsewhere? Or is there other pieces that you would like to see, right? Is there something that you're like, oh, well, I'd rather have, Bogdanovic and Hunter, or I'd rather have Clint Capela and Hunter, right? Again, whatever it is, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.